So in the last class, we have discussed about basic CSS or basic styling. How do we write style? How do we apply style? How do we apply the style through the selectors? What is the importance of the selector? These kind of things we have discussed in the last class. Okay. So I have asked you to read one more combinator selector, and I hope you have done with that. So today, of course, there are few more selectors which are very important. Okay, we will be covering on the Saturday. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I try to take some refresher sessions on CSS and Bootstrap, which are very much important for you. They are all in the weekends. Okay, don't take me wrong, because we have to spend more time on the JavaScript, which is much more complicated than CSS and HTML. Okay, but I don't leave you anybody like that. Okay, so whatever the styling problems you have, we have to figure out. But most of our fellow students or colleagues are already aware of CSS Bootstrap very much. Okay, so especially I will take them. We try to implement so many examples, as many examples as possible. Okay, but we have to focus more on JavaScript and its work. But no, today also we are going to discuss CSS concepts. Okay, let us dive into the concepts called box model. What exactly I mean to say box model? Okay, so can you tell me one small thing, that is, what is the shape which is occupied by the water drop from the cloud? Cloud నుంచి మనకి వాటర్ డ్రాప్స్ కిందకు వస్తున్నాయి కదా, వాట్ ఈస్ ద షేప్ ఆఫ్ ద వాటర్ డ్రాప్ ఆఫ్ ద క్లౌడ్? మేఘాల్లోంచి వాటర్ కింద పడుతున్నప్పుడు ఆ షేప్ ఏంటి? వాట్ ఈస్ ద షేప్ కాల్డ్?
Maybe spherical, sir.
వెరీ గుడ్ అండి, దట్ ఈస్ స్పియర్. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ స్పియర్. సో స్పియర్, వంశీ వచ్చేసారా? వన్ సెకండ్ గైస్. స్పియర్, వెరీ గుడ్ అండి. What is the shape of a box? I mean, sorry, what is the shape of soap packing? Soap packing ki shape emuntundi? What is that shape? It's a box. Am I correct? Okay, so every particular thing we have a specific shape with that, with very specific shape with that. What is the reason? Can you explain why there is actually a reason behind that?
అరే ఇయర్ ఫోన్స్ పెట్టుకోరా.
Hello, what is this? Why that is in the spherical shape? The reason is it occupies less space. Okay, that is the surface area will be very less. For example, I want to pack 50 matchsticks. So the best shape for packing matchsticks is that kind of rectangular box. Okay, if you whatever, even if it is a soap, why it is taking that shape is, any other shape will take more amount of what is a surface area, so then the amount of paper we need is more. Okay, anyways, the point why I am looking for that is everything occupies a shape. That is what I want to say. Okay, so when I try to develop when I create an element, it also occupies a shape. I'll show you that. Suppose if I say h1 and hello, so this particular box, let me run http hyphen server. Okay, so is it going to create any shape of this kind of thing? For example, ఇలాంటి షేప్ ఏమైనా ఆక్యుపై చేస్తుందా? Is it going to occupy this kind of shape? No, 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 no. Even if it is a simple image, it occupies the full width of the page. Even if it is a simple hello like that, it will occupy full width of the page as a box. That means whenever you have developed an element, whenever you have created an element, it occupies a box. So how can I see whether it is occupied a box or not? You can apply a simple style here. Style is equal to border 1px solid. I'll explain what is this border and all. But first of all, let me show you how what exactly it occupies. See this, see this. So this is occupying full width of the page as a box, right? This is the nature of any particular element. So any element comes on the web page, it occupies a box. Suppose if I create simple thing called um, mhm. One sec, I'll show you that. I'll show you that also. Getting the feel of box model is very important. Um, mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Already it is not a PNG image. I'm sorry for that. Okay. So I mean to say, even if the image is of this spherical shape, still it occupies a box. Okay, like that. So next we'll go to the one more example. For example, span, or let us say B Praveen. So Praveen look here comes here, but it will occupy a box. It will not occupy the shape of the Praveen. Okay, how can I say that, sir? Style is equal to border 1px solid. If I apply this, actually it shows you, right? So finally you should understand one thing, that every element in the HTML occupies actually a box. You see that, for example, input type is equal to radio. It looks like this. It is a spherical shape, but actually it occupied a box. How can you say that? Style is equal to border 1px solid. Okay, actually border already applied on top of it. Is there any border 1px solid? Okay, instead of border outline. Can you see that? Okay, what is outline is another concept, but first of all, try to understand it is also occupying a box, whatever it may be, whatever the element it may be, it occupies a box. So anybody asks you, what is box model? Box model is the default nature of HTML elements, which are every element of the HTML occupies a box. Okay. Now, that is only the half definition of the box model. Along with occupancy of a box, it will also have some properties. The properties are margin, padding, and border. Okay, already we are able to see what is border. So border is the box outline. I mean to say outer part. Okay, we will have an outline property also. And there is one more property called padding. What is padding? For example, here is the content. There will be the space between the content and the border. Okay, so let us see, is there any space between content and the border? Actually, in fact, there is no space between the content and the border. Don't consider this part, what is a top and bottom, that is called line height. Okay, you can reduce the line height also, don't worry about it. Left, in the right you have some space, right? No, because we don't have any other content, so it is occupied. For example, instead of hello, if you have hello, hmm. So because we don't have content, so the space is visible over here. If you have more content, the space will not be visible. In fact, it is overwritten if the space is less. In fact, it will be overwritten if the space is less. So anyways, the question is, oh, 1 second.
Hello,
సారీ అండి, సారీ.
you are muted.
అవునండి, థ్యాంక్ యూ. నేను అట్లా చెప్పుకుంటూ పోతూనే ఉన్నా. ఓకే, సో మనకి బాడీకి we have some space from body to the outer part. Okay, If you apply the padding to the body, you got the space between the body and your content. Okay, that is this from border to the content. Sir, this is border, right? Yes, of course. For body, your box itself, the content. For your body, the box is considered as the content. Okay, so to the body outer line, you have some space, and that space is called as margin. You have a space between this body border and outside. So from here out, we got the gap between this border to the body border, because body is having padding, so that is why we got it. But you can have one more space that is outside the border, not inside the border. Outside the border also you can keep some space. That is possible by margin 10 px or 40 px. Suppose, imagine. So we got this much of space from body to outer part, that because that is happened because of margin 40 px. Suppose if I make it as 0, warm px, Srinivas P. Px means pixels only, the smallest unit of your page. So the length will be the size will be identified by the pixel. Okay. Okay, I'm coming to that. First of all, let me complete the margin. Margin is the space between the border and outside, and padding is the space between border and inside of the element. Okay, yeah. So for more understanding, you can go to in the you can in the developer tools, go to the elements section and see the box model. Okay, so for example, for this H1, we have the margin. You can see the margin. Margin is the space between border and outside. See, here is the border, here is the padding. So you can see which is the padding, which is the border, which is the margin. Okay, so we got a question: what is the difference between pixels and percentages? Okay, so my total screen is divided into 1360. One second. It is saying 1241. Okay. You are using a screen resolution of 1366 into 768. So my computer is 15-inch computer. My screen is 15-inch screen. That 15-inch means in the diagonal size, diagonal way it is 15 inch. Okay, so maybe width, that means width ante meeku teliyali, width maybe around 12 and height will be around 8 or 9. Okay, so the width and height, suppose the width is 12 centimeters, so inside the 12 centimeters totally, that the total width of the screen is divided into 1366 pixels, the smallest dots of your computer. Okay, the total height of your page, your computer screen, is divided into 769 pixels. So this 768 pixels, it means in the downside you have 768 pixels, that means total rows of pixels, and in the width size it is 1366. Suppose even pixel sizes may vary from one computer to another computer. Suppose if I reduce my resolution, if I reduce my resolution into 800 by 600, so the total width of my screen is divided into 800 pixels. Okay, that will be done by your monitor itself, your what you say, screen itself. So if I changed my display resolution into 1280 by 720, what do you mean by that? The width is divided into 1280 pixels and height is divided into 720 pixels. Can you please check in your mobile, go to the browser and go to the Google and type what is my resolution? What is my screen resolution? Can you go and tell me? Hello?
Twenty-five sixty into 1600.
Entandi?
2560 by 1600.
40.
2560.
Mobile da?
Yeah.
Okay, 2560 into
By 1600.
oh
360 by 800 for me.
నాకైతే అలాగే వస్తుంది. What is my screen resolution? Okay. Yeah. 2560 into 1600. సో మన స్క్రీన్ మీద, అంటే మొబైల్ స్క్రీన్ మీద అన్ని డాట్స్ ఉన్నాయని అర్థం. ఓకే, ఇస్ ఇట్ క్లియర్? శ్రీనివాస్ పి. Okay, so that is about pixels.
Yeah, yes, clear.
How about the
So that is 1366 into 768 pixels are there. No? Those many dots are there.
Thank you. Yeah.
What is percentage, sir?
Yeah, so if you manually kept 300, for example, if I say percentage ante సో మీకే తెలుసు కదా, 100% ఆఫ్ యువర్ ఇన్కమ్ అని అంటే మొత్తం తీసుకోండి అని అర్థం. 30% ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ అంటే 30%. మీకు 20,000 శాలరీ ఉంటే దాంట్లో 100% అంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటి చెప్పండి? ఇఫ్ యువర్ ఇన్కమ్ ఇస్ 20,000, వాట్ యూ మీన్ బై 100% ఆఫ్ యువర్ ఇన్కమ్? వాట్ యూ మీన్ బై 25% ఆఫ్ యువర్ ఇన్కమ్? వాట్ యూ మీన్ బై 30% ఆఫ్ యువర్ ఇన్కమ్?
Okay.
అడుగుతున్నప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీ శాలరీ 20,000 అనుకోండి, 30% ఆఫ్ యువర్ ఇన్కమ్ అంటే ఎంత వస్తుంది?
Yeah, 6K.
6,000 వస్తుంది. దట్ ఈస్ అంటే పర్సంటేజ్ అని అంటే మనం క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకుంటున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇంత విడ్త్ ఉంది, ఇన్ని పిక్సెల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, దాంట్లో 50% అని అంటే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా మన బ్రౌజరే 50% ఆఫ్ ద విడ్త్ మనకి క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసి ఇస్తుంది. లేదు అని అంటే నేను స్పెసిఫిక్ గా నెంబర్ ఇవ్వాలి. 300 పిక్సెల్స్ అని ఇస్తే ఫిక్స్డ్ గా 300 పిక్సెల్స్ తీసుకుంటుంది. ఓకే, 300 పిక్సెల్స్ తీసుకుంటుంది. లేదు అని అంటే పర్సంటైల్ లో ఇస్తే బ్రౌజర్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకుని మనకి ఇస్తుంది ఎన్ని పిక్సెల్స్ తీసుకోవాలి అని, హైట్ కానీ విడ్త్ కానీ. అది నెక్స్ట్ ప్రాపర్టీ అన్నమాట. ఇప్పుడు 10 పిక్సెల్స్ అని అన్నాను, 10 పిక్సెల్స్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్యాడింగ్ అని అంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటి? కరెక్ట్ గా 10 పిక్సెల్స్ తీసుకుంటుంది, అది క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసి తీసుకుంటుంది. అదే 10% అన్నాను అనుకోండి, ఇప్పుడు బేసిక్ గా ప్యాడింగ్ దేంట్లోంచి తీసుకుంటుంది? నేను ఉన్న పిక్సెల్స్ లోంచి తీసుకుంటుంది. 10% ఆఫ్ ద పిక్సెల్స్ అని అంటే ఇప్పుడు ప్యాడింగ్ అని అంటే ఎంత తీసుకుంటుంది? విడ్త్ లో, విడ్త్ తీసుకునేటప్పుడు విడ్త్ లో తీసుకుంటుంది. ఎంత తీసుకుంటుంది విడ్త్ లో? 10% అంటే 1360 అని చెప్తున్నాను నేను ఇక్కడ, 1366 అని అన్నాను. 10% ఆఫ్ 1366 ఎంత?
136.
136 పిక్సెల్స్. 136 పిక్సెల్స్ తీసుకుంటుంది అది. ఇప్పుడు ఇంత ఇంత ప్యాడింగ్ ఎందుకు వచ్చింది బాడీకి? యా, ఇంత 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 ప్యాడింగ్ ఎందుకు వచ్చింది ఇది? వాట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ అని అంటే, దిస్ ప్యాడింగ్ హ్యాస్ కమ్ బికాస్ the 10% of the 1366 is 136 pixels padding వచ్చింది ఇక్కడ మనకి, according to the width it calculated, because we are on the landscape mode. Portrait mode లో ఉంటే height ని బేస్ చేసుకుని క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకునేది. Okay, so now yeah, that is true. Even in the centimeters also we can give percentages, we can give EMs, REMs. These are all the different approaches we have to supply the units. Okay, px is one of the unit. Okay, yeah. So now yeah, please go to mute. డౌట్ ఉంటే అడిగేసేయండి, తర్వాత మ్యూట్లోకి వెళ్ళిపో. యా, సో
Which one is most preferable measure?
రెండు వాడాలి. You have to use both. Sometimes you need to supply the percentiles, sometimes you need to supply the pixels. Okay, that's up to you. That is according to the need. You have to, while we get the design in the responsive mechanism, we are all going to calculate it and we'll put it. Okay, yeah. Next we'll be looking into the margin, yes, margin, padding and border. We have seen margin, padding and border, but while we are applying the border, padding and margin, we have different things. Okay, slowly we have to come into that particular picture. So let me remove this padding styling to the body, and let me give you a H1 with this kind of margin and padding. Okay, so now this style can be applied even through the inline internal styling. So I prefer that internal styling. So H1, I'll keep an ID here. ID is equal to D1. So style and the style element, because I am trying to select an element based on the ID, so hash D1 and open bracket, close bracket. Here BORDER border 1px solid, close. So you have to end with the with the line with semicolon. Why did we use the solid? Is we can apply dashed also. So now the border has come with the dashed lines. Okay, so there are few more properties where dashed or 1 second. You can directly give the color also. 1 minute. Dashed series of square ended things. Solid single line. Okay, 1 second. CSS border style. So this is solid. Oh, we are coming into the rounded border. Yeah, dotted, dashed, solid, double, groove, ridge, inset, outset, none, defines no border, hidden, hidden borders. Okay, these are the different styles we have. So if you want a double border, you can have double. You can make it as double groove border. Okay, it looks like this. You can have a shadow behind it. Yes, this is ridge kind of border, and this is inset border, and this is outset border. These are the different possible border types we can have. Okay, so now along with this, we need to understand border. Okay, border types we have seen. Border width, we can apply the border width here as a first part. That is, if I say 10 pixels and solid gives you the border width here, 10 pixels. Next. So, okay, if you want to give a different border in the top, different border on the right, different border on the bottom, and different border on the different sized border on the left, it is possible, but directly shorthand property is not possible. It is already shorthand property for the width for each side is not possible directly here. If you want separately, then you should do like this. Border style, first you have to apply the style is equal to solid, and border width is equal to 20 px. So now you can separately apply different width to each of the border sides. Border width 20 pixels and 10 pixels. If I say like this. So what did you observe? Okay, let me have 5 pixels. What did you observe here? Top and bottom is having the border size of 20 pixels, and left side and right side, the size of the width is 5 px. So when you say with the two properties, first property value will be taken into top and bottom, second property will be taken into left and right. Okay, that is the nature. Suppose if you really want to supply 4 sides, 10. Okay, let me start with 100 pixels, then 50 pixels, then 25 pixels, then 5 pixels. Suppose if I take it like this, then you can see from the top you have how much? This is 100 pixels, this is 50 pixels, bottom is 25 pixels, and left is 1 pixel. So the point here is it will go for in the clockwise direction from the top to top, right, bottom, and left. Okay, this way you can have a border width. This is called shorthand way for border width. Yes. Okay. Next, if you want to apply only one side, only on the left side, for example, yes, is it possible? Yes, obviously it is possible. So we have more approaches: border sides, So individual border top style also possible to be given. Okay, it is possible. Top left also. If you want to provide side width, this is what we have seen so far. Whatever we have just checked it out. Border width, border shorthand. See here, we can have a specific border. That means only one particular side also. We can have only one particular side also, that is like this. Instead of border width to all the sides, if you really want to apply border left is equal to 10px solid. So you will witness a border of 10 pixels only on the left side. There is no other border now. Okay, don't underestimate this, because this is the most important. I mean, this is used in so many places. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah. So can you see a border only on the left side over here? Okay, this is a general border where you have to understand. Okay, next you can supply the color to the borders also. That is the third property in the sequence. So first property is the size, second property is the what you say type, and the third property is the color. If I apply red color, the right side, I mean whatever the border we had is coming like this, red color. And okay, in the solid, for example, if I set inset, you can see inset, but of course you need top also. For example, border left is okay, good. Border top. Suppose in the inset, if you change the color, you can observe the process over here. Have you seen it? Yeah, yeah. So sometimes people are so crazy. So for example, here, if I have adjusted to white color, this is gray. Because it is inset, you can see this grayness. Okay. You can see some shadow effect over here. So be ready for that. That will give you a better look and feel also. Okay, that's up to you. Whatever the way you want to do, you can apply with the different combinations of the style, and the width will give you a better approach. Okay, so border, leave the border top, apply only border left, and give some padding. I want some space between this border and this content. So for that, what I can do, padding is 10px. So you can see here like this. Okay. So generally these kind of things are asked in the interviews about your borders. Okay. Next, padding also you have already seen, but even for padding also you have shorthand syntax. This is when you apply padding 10 pixels, it will apply to all the directions. But if I set 10 pixels and 40 pixels, let me have border, full border. So why I have more space on the left side and less space on the top and bottom? The reason is top and bottom I have applied 10 pixels. Left and right I have applied 40 pixels. But here there is more space. Hello sir, there is no content, so we got that space. It is not because of it. And if you want to specify each side, that is also possible, but you have to give all the directions. Okay. Next, these are all understood by everybody. That I don't actually, even you can go and see what is the meaning. But more than anything, you have to understand one more concept called box sizing. That is called as border box and content box. So to understand this, you need to understand a few more things also here. I'll tell you what the meaning is. Okay. But before that, you need to understand one more concept called width and height. What is width? What is width? Every box will occupy the width of a specific size. What do you mean by that? What exactly the meaning is? What is the occupancy of this particular H1? What is the width it is occupying? It is occupying full width of the page. Is it possible to condense that width? Width is equal to 400 pixels. So now the width of the H1 is only 400 pixels. Is only 400 pixels. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But suppose if I say H1, one more H1, here also I have hello, and where here also I'll apply ID is equal to D2, and hash D2, width is 400 pixels. So now you see the same amount of width it should occupy, right? But unfortunately it is okay. Let me apply BOR border 1px solid. So if you see, the actual 400 pixel width means only this much. Hello. But the occupancy of the greater hello, above hello is this much. Why? Width is, width means not only the specified width, it is added along with the
Padding.
as well as padding. So width of an element is a combination of border and padding and its original width. So what is the actual width of the greater hello, greater and pine unna hello?
Padding left, padding right, plus
Correct. But can you please calculate that?
450.
Nice. Any other?
480.
Any other?
480. 500, sir. Border also there.
కాసేపు ఆగితే 900 1000 అంటారే
No, sir. Final 500.
Final 500. Okay, fine. Last మాట ఇంకా next. Okay, remaining people
490, sir.
490 వచ్చారా మీరు? Okay, fine. So how do I calculate? Width 400.
500.
Yeah, I'll come back to, don't worry. Width 400 plus left side border is 10. Left side padding is 10. That is left side 20 pixels plus 400. That is 420 plus right side padding. That is 10. That is 430. Right side border. That is 10. That is totally 440. మీకు 500 ఎట్లా వచ్చిందండి?
సార్ ప్యాడింగ్ 10 షార్ట్ హ్యాండ్ ఇచ్చారు సార్ మీరు.
Sir, 40 pixels పెట్టారు
40
కదా.
పిక్సెల్ వస్తుంది సార్ లెఫ్ట్ రైట్.
It is my mistake. So 10 pixels plus 40. That is 50 on the right side, 50 on the left side. That is 100 plus 400 is the width. Correct? So totally 500 kada. 440 అని ఎందుకు అనుకున్నారు మీరు? Somebody 440 or 450. హలో, లెఫ్ట్ ఒక్కటే క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేశారండి మీరు? హ్యావ్ యూ క్యాలిక్యులేటెడ్ ఓన్లీ ద లెఫ్ట్ పార్ట్?
నేను ఫస్ట్ 480 ఎందుకు చెప్పానంటే సార్ బార్డర్ ని చూసుకోలేదు, దానివల్ల 480 చెప్పాను. తర్వాత బార్డర్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తే 500 వచ్చింది.
సూపర్, గుడ్ అండి. సో టోటల్లీ yes, ultimately you should go to the right direction. First you do all the mistakes. Okay, ultimately you have to go to the right direction. Very good, you have done it. So I hope you understood how do we calculate the width of a particular element, isn't it? Yeah, but there is a see, the width of this particular hello is occupied up to just check it out, this one. Okay, here up to here. Okay, వెస్ట్ ఉంది కదా, దానికి తగ్గట్టుగా చూసుకోండి. నేను కొన్ని అప్లై చేస్తాను, తగ్గుతూ ఉంటుంది width. That is box sizing is content box. Content box. Box sizing is equal to content box, did not make any difference. Border box. Box sizing is border box. Okay, I have applied to D1 only. Yeah, is it reduced, guys? Hello.
Yeah.
Why it is
Yes.
reduced is
So,
when you apply a box sizing as border box, what happens is it will adjust all the border as well as the padding into the width. అంటే 400 లోనే అడ్జస్ట్ చేసేస్తుంది. What does it do? It will adjust it into the 400. It will not allow you to move here and there. I mean, it will not grow beyond the need. It will adjust within the 400 pixels. So are you getting me? What is the importance of border box? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Right, so that property is very much in use, and very much in use. You should not what you say, overflow your width. ఇది తెలియక చాలా మంది చాలా ఇబ్బందులు పడుతూ ఉంటారు. every time they get the scroll, whatever the width or height it may be, you have to adjust within the particular page. Okay, anyways, so overall this is how we can understand the box model, including the width, height, padding, border, and of course now it is the high time to understand the margin. What is the margin? Margin is the space between the border and outer. Okay, so what do you mean by that? So if I apply the margin here, ఈ బార్డర్ కి బయట దానికి ఒక స్పేస్ వచ్చింది. దట్ స్పేస్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ద margin. Okay, yeah, okay. So left side it will be calculated like this, but how about there is one instead of hello Praveen. Okay, suppose margin is left side, top, bottom and right side. Everywhere there is 30 pixels of margin. Suppose even to D2, that is Praveen also, I am trying to apply the margin as 40, okay, 30 pixels. You can see from left side this Praveen got 30 pixels, but from the top there is no 30 pixels. Actually, whatever the space was, that was given by the hello, right? ఇక్కడున్న స్పేస్ హెలోకి సంబంధించిన 30 పిక్సెల్స్ ఆఫ్ మార్జిన్ కదా, మరి ప్రవీణ్ మార్జిన్ ఏది? సో margins will be calculated as a cumulative margins. That means the combination of both, not the addition of both. Sorry, it's not cumulative. It is a maximum between both. సో 30 పిక్సెల్స్ ఉంది కాబట్టి 30 పిక్సెల్స్ దీని నుంచి 30 పిక్సెల్స్ దాని నుంచి 30 పిక్సెల్స్ అని అనుకుంటుంది, అంతేగాని 60 పిక్సెల్స్ మధ్యలో స్పేస్ రాదు. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ but if I have 50 here, what will happen? It is not going to be 50 plus 30. It's not going to be 50 plus 30. It is only 50 pixels of the total margin. Okay, just a minute. So this is how we can calculate the how the HTML calculates the margin. రెండిటికి పైన కింద ఒక ఎలిమెంట్ ఉంటే రెండిటికి కామన్ మార్జిన్ ఉంటుంది తప్ప దీనికి సపరేట్ మార్జిన్ దీనికి సపరేట్ మార్జిన్ ఉండదు. హ్యావ్ యూ అండర్స్టూడ్ అండి? హలో, okay, next. So the next thing is very, very important thing is when I say what is the difference between inline elements and block elements? Question is, what is the difference between inline elements and block elements? మనం మాట్లాడుకున్నాం, we have discussed this point already.
Inline elements will come in one line. It won't take the complete width.
Yeah, block level elements will take the full width of the page, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but you can convert a block level element into inline element and inline element into block level element. Okay, why do we need to convert like this? Because inline elements can have the box with a border. For example, there is a I, that is Indian subcontinent. Here we have Indian subcontinent. Yes, we have. This is an inline element. How can you say that, sir? Let me have ID is equal to D3 border 1px solid. So you can see, this inline element is occupying only this much of width. Okay. But if I try to apply the property called width is equal to 400 pixels. మనం అప్లై చేసిన, there is no application on this. That means width property did not apply on the inline elements. Here width property got applied, but one second. Hello. Yeah. Okay. So the difference between inline elements and block level elements is not only about the occupancy, it is also, there is also a situation where both will be differed with their box model properties. Box model properties cannot be applied to inline elements. Point number one. So that is why width, even though I have applied width, it is not getting applied on the inline element. Let me apply some HEIGHT, height is equal to 300 pixels. Yes, I have applied height also, but it is not getting applied. I try to apply MARGAN margin 30 pixels. Yes, it is applied margin 30 pixels, but it will collapse actually. I can apply padding of 30 pixels, but it will also having a problem. It will be inserted into the margin of others, or it will enter into other element space also. It will enter into other element space also. So like that, these box model properties are not appropriately applied onto the inline elements. So inline elements are good for the occupancy, but they cannot have the complete control on box. Point number one. Point number two is block level elements are good, no doubt in it. But the problem with the block level elements is it will occupy full width of the page. Even if you control the width, I have mentioned the width of the D1 is only 200 pixels. But what happened? What happened? Still, even though it is 200 pixels, it is not allowing other element to come in the same line. Even for D2 also, let me apply 200 pixels. What happened? This is not allowing in the same line, right? అర్థమవుతుందా? ఏ రెండు బ్లాక్ లెవెల్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ కూడా ఒకటే లైన్ లో రావడానికి ఇష్టపడవు. Is it possible to convert that into inline? Yes, of course. If you convert that element into inline by display inline, yes, it got converted into inline. But what happened? Again, the same problem. The old problem is inline elements cannot be applied with width, height, and margin padding. If I Mari, idenduk ravatledu D2 ante D2 is not converted into inline. You can convert display inline. So display property will convert the element into box level to, block level to inline. Now all of them are coming in the same line. It is good. That's absolutely good. But what is the problem? You cannot apply properly the width box model, other box model properties. Now we need another approach for inline element and for elements where they have to follow both inline properties as well as block properties. That means we want that particular block level element should allow other blocks also in the same line, and it should have width and height. All the other box model properties. Is it possible? Yes, of course. That is by doing inline block. You have to convert the division into inline block, not division in the sense the element into inline block, not just inline. By converting this, you can see some miracle here. What is that? The respective element is occupying in the same line with all the box properties, all the box model properties. తెలుగులో చెప్పాలంటే ఇది ఒకటే, అంటే ఇన్లైన్ బ్లాక్ అనే ప్రాపర్టీని కనుక మనం డిస్ప్లేకి సెట్ చేస్తే, అనే వాల్యూని కనుక డిస్ప్లేకి సెట్ చేస్తే ఆ ఎలిమెంట్ ఏమవుతుంది? విడ్త్, హైట్ అన్ని అప్లై చేయించుకోగలుగుతుంది, బాక్స్ మోడల్ని ఫాలో అవుతుంది. అలాంగ్ విత్ దట్ ఇట్ విల్ ఆల్సో allow the others to come in the same line. Okay, so same line లో రావడానికి కూడా మనకి ఆప్షన్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఇలాగా మీరు ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఎలిమెంట్ ని మీరు ఇన్లైన్ బ్లాక్ కింద అప్లై చేస్తే, ఇన్లైన్ బ్లాక్ కింద మారిస్తే, యూ కెన్ హ్యావ్ ఆల్ ద బాక్స్ మోడల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ as well as they all come in the same line. But of course, sir, we are learning, but where do we apply them? Yes, correct. Where do we apply them? దీనికి నేను ఇప్పుడు ఇదొక్కటే చెప్పడం అని కాదు, నెక్స్ట్ మీకు ఫ్లెక్స్ బాక్సెస్ అని, ఈరోజు కాదు సాటర్డే రోజు ఫ్లెక్స్ బాక్సెస్ గురించి, గ్రిడ్ గురించి చాలా ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఇప్పిస్తాను. ఓకే, బట్ బిఫోర్ దట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్, ఎస్, దిస్ ఈస్ హౌ ద బిహేవియర్ ఆఫ్ అ HTML element with styling. So now where do we apply and what is the real application? Let us see this. So why they are all coming one after the other? Why all the list items are coming one after the other?
Because they are block level.
Emma?
Block level.
Super. They're all block elements. Okay, so can I convert that block elements into, if I give the width and height, how do I style them? I want to display them in one single line. I want to display them in one single line. So I can do something like li open bracket close bracket. Of course here I am applying directly to li display inline block. Why should I convert it into inline block? Why not to inline? If I convert to inline, that is okay, well and good. But why I specifically converted them into inline block?
To apply all the styling.
ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇక్కడ width అప్లై చేయాలనుకోండి. If I apply the width of 300 pixels, it is not going to get applied. Can you understand my point? అదే నేను ఇన్లైన్ బ్లాక్ కింద చేశాను అనుకోండి, హ్యాపీలీ ఇట్ విల్ బి అప్లైడ్. ఓకే, కిందకి ఎందుకు వచ్చేసింది ఏంటంటే ఎస్ ఇట్ విల్ కమ్. ఓకే, now India is occupied by 300 pixels, Japan, Korea are individually occupying 300 pixels. Please close after the value, okay, by semicolon. Okay, now our target is I want to have some color, I mean to say background color. Okay, please bear with me. I had to teach background color also, but I'll maybe after some time. Okay, so here background color is equal to dark gray. So if I apply it, it is dark gray, and after that each particular element should occupy 300 pixels. Okay, and let me have this one as background color is equal to black. And I'll make the font color as white. So now it looks like a navigation bar. Okay, you can keep them in the center if you really want, and you can make them into it. So first of all, okay, I hope you got it. Conversion of inline elements into block level elements, block level elements into, I mean, block level elements into inline elements. So that we can create nav bars properly. Okay, slowly one after the other, we have to clear some things. First of all, why the spaces? As I told you, the body will be having the margin. Actually, body started here. Whatever the outer space is, that is margin. So first of all, very simple, make body margin as 0px in all the direction. First of all, you make it all the directions margin is 0, so that you have a simple straightforward line. Point number 1. Point number 2 is why the spaces, why this spaces. This is because of UL space. How do you know that? Yeah, just inspect, open the inspect tab, and I'll go to the UL. Can you see a green color over there? Padding you can see by this is here we get the padding, and here below you have the margin, and you can apply, you can observe that color differences by this box. So padding looks in this green color, margin looks in that light red or something color. Okay, so just move your pointer, this one and this one for selecting the element, or else if you move your pointer on the respective element, you can find it out. That means there is the padding, so you have to eliminate the padding. If you want, you can eliminate the padding. I have to eliminate the padding for UL, not for LI, guys. LI doesn't have padding or margin. Already I have converted, right? Okay, UL is having that. So I will apply a padding 0px in all the directions. Right? See here, padding got applied in all the directions. Okay. But I want them to be specifically visible. Okay, so for that, what I can do here is I can apply a margin of 10 px to each li so that it looks much cleaner and clear. Okay, that's up to you. If you don't want this margin, that's up to you guys. How do you want to really design your page is your wish. Okay, or else keep the UL with the default margin whatever we got, and then I don't want these things should be having some space. Generally I try to create a nav bar like this. Okay, background color is dark blue, and here everything is in the black. Okay, when I move my mouse on it, we have this hover effect. Okay, we'll come back. Yeah, what all we can do here, what all I want to do here. So for a better look and feel, I'll do something like this. In the navbar list item, I'll make the padding as 20 px, and here is your navbar. That's up to you. And if you reduce it to 200 pixels, then it will be good. Okay. This is about your navbar. Reduce padding to 15. It will give you. Okay, guys, this is yes. Next. The final touch for this today's class is there is a space to this Japan to the left. That space is basically the default left margin for every list item. I mean, every inline element. Sir, it is inline block element, right? You have converted. Yes, of course. It is having inline property. Every inline element will have that space, left margin. Okay. It will not even visible in the inspect. అది మనకి ఇన్స్పెక్ట్ లో కనపడను కూడా కనపడదు. ఇక్కడ ఉండే లెఫ్ట్ మార్జిన్ ఉంది కదా, ఆ లెఫ్ట్ మార్జిన్ మనకి ఇక్కడ కనపడను కూడా కనపడదు. మరి దాన్ని ఎట్లా ఎలిమినేట్ చేస్తారు? హౌ కెన్ యూ ఎలిమినేట్ దట్ అని అంటే యూ హ్యావ్ టు, యాజ్ యూ కన్వర్టెడ్ LI into inline block, that 2 pixels has come. So you have to say margin minus 2 pixel. Margin left. Okay, margin left is minus 2 pixels. So by minus 2, it reduced to 2. 1 second, minus 4, not 2. Minus 4. So now these all things have come into this way. Hope you got it. Yeah, minus 4 pixels made that to move ahead. Okay. What else? What else we can do? Yeah, one more thing. I just finally there is a possibility that when you move your mouse on a particular list item, the color should be changed. Li, that is possible by a pseudo element called Li hover. Only one thing I am saying you, Li hover. That means this will be whatever the style I am applying, this will be applied only when I move my mouse on a list item. So for that, you have to mention Li colon hover. Hover. Background color is equal to gray. So when I move my mouse on India, the background color has changed to gray like this. When I move my mouse out, it will be coming into the normal position. Okay, so this way, if you really want to apply some styling, you can do like this. Okay, so from my side, this is the box model I wanted to give you. This is the box model I wanted to give you. Box model, I have explained you what is margin, what is padding, what is border, what is width, what is height. Of course, height is just the height, and the what you say inline block elements, converting the block level elements into inline elements. Try to create the navbar according to your interest and make use of it, right? Along with that, there I want to give you one more property called vertical align. Okay, because in every web page you need these things for sure. So let me have a logo here, that is any logo. Okay, and what can I do? Copy, and I can put an image over here as an, okay, the li, I can put img src is equal to logo. Now it looks like this. Of course, it's a very big logo, so it will come like that. So definitely we have to apply the width is equal to 100 pixels. So yes, this logo has come in a right way, but just for some time being, I just want to remove that అదేం లేదు అక్కడ I don't want that more space occupied. Okay, this is what I wanted. Okay, yeah, but this WhatsApp logo should be coming, I mean to say that this WhatsApp logo is occupying this much of space. I'll tell you what is the problem. There is a problem here. Yeah, WhatsApp logo height is ended over here, right? This is called as baseline. On that baseline, the other list items also occupying the baseline. అంటే ప్రతి ఒక్క దానికి అది baseline లాగా ఉంటుంది. When it comes, that is the baseline. ఇప్పుడు padding ఇవన్నీ అప్లై చేయడం వల్ల కంటెంట్ కిందకు వచ్చేసింది. So we have to keep everything in aligned in the vertically, not on the baseline, on the middle of the line. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఉన్న అన్ని ఇన్లైన్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఒకటే లైన్ లోకి రావాలి అని అంటే I had to apply some different styling here. So here I'll apply an ID as logo. I'll be changing this logo, hash logo vertical align middle. So as soon as I apply vertical align as middle, you can see the difference here. So the navbar is coming aligned with this WhatsApp image. Even if the WhatsApp image you can keep it as 150. చూడండి, ఇప్పుడు మనం లెఫ్ట్ ప్యాడింగ్ తీసేస్తే ఓకే, ముందైతే అర్థం చేసుకోండి. ఇది దీని పక్కన ఉన్న లిస్ట్ ఐటమ్స్, ఆ లైన్ లో ఉన్న అన్ని కంటెంట్స్ అలైన్మెంట్ వర్టికల్ గా ఏ పాత్ లో అలైన్ అయ్యి మిడిల్ ని బేస్ చేసుకుని అలైన్ అయినాయి. కాబట్టి యూ కెన్ గెట్ దట్ హోల్ పార్ట్ ఇన్ అ ప్రాపర్ వే. ఓకే, యు వెల్ padding left is equal to 0 px. Perfect అండి. ఇది అంటే I just wanted to show you a simple nav bar. దీనికి ఇంత ప్యాడింగ్ ఎందుకు వచ్చింది ఒకసారి చూద్దాం. UL కి ప్యాడింగ్ 0 చేసేసాను. లిస్ట్ ఐటమ్స్ కి ప్యాడింగ్ ఉంది. మరి ఎంత అవసరం లేదు. 15 పిక్సెల్స్ ప్యాడింగ్ అవసరం. దాని ఇమేజ్ సైజ్ అట్లుంది కాబట్టి అంత ఆక్యుపై చేసి పర్ఫెక్ట్లీ కరెక్ట్. అదర్వైజ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ పర్ఫెక్ట్లీ మేడ్. You got it? Yes, this is how you can adjust your nav bar. This is how you can get into that nav bar. So if you are really more interested on the right side nav bar, all the list items should be floated on the right side. Okay, if you want, that's what I'm saying. Of course, float is another property. I am not completely explaining it. FLOAT, float, RIGHT, right? If I say float right, all these things are occupied on the right side, but they are not vertically aligned in a proper way. Float is different. Okay, don't consider this. Okay, float right is not the right way of doing. We have flex boxes nowadays. Don't get confused. But yes, if you really want, you can get it. Okay, this is sufficient and clean. And if you want, yes, you can do, but let us not get confused too much about this. Whatever I taught you about the width and height, with these properties, you can do lot of things. You can do lot of things. Okay, yeah. One more thing I want to tell you, that is margin. Margin has a different peculiar meaning, very different peculiar meaning, and I want to give you that concept also. Okay, that is how to center something is very important. That's a very big class, in fact. That is very simple, that is very complex. అంటే ఏదైనా ఒక దాన్ని సెంటర్ లోకి తీసుకురావాలంటే ఎలా అనేది ఇంకొక వేరే అప్రోచ్ అన్నమాట. సో దాంట్లో మార్జిన్ యూస్, we can use the margin, or else we can use the division, I mean block properties also. For example, here I have UL. In the UL, everything is aligned left. I repeat, everything aligned in the left. That is a default thing. So here I can apply text align center. Can you see what happened here? So all the elements in that particular block are aligned in the center. That alignment of the text is in the center. Is it clear? Yeah. Suppose if you say text align RIGHT right, yes, you can do this also. You can also align that text into the right side. Okay, then the logo can be varied different. Okay, you may, okay, leave it. That is not our current. So this is also possible. Point number one. This is one way of centering an element. or else you can fix your UL width or any division width. Width is equal to no, you need lot of different understanding. Wait a minute, I had to explain two parallel things here. Wait a minute, don't worry. Let us go to the special program called margins. అన్ని కలిపి వింటే మీకు కష్టమే. I will show you separately. So here, let me have a H1 or else a division whose ID is equal to D1. So here hash D1 width is equal to 300 pixels. And I'll give a height to it. Height is equal to 100 pixels and border is equal to 1px solid. Just I want to show you some, hey, come on. So I can apply a margin to this. So here, if I apply margin 10 pixels, then it will apply in all the directions. If I apply 10 pixels and 50 pixels, top and bottom, it will be 10 pixels. And the right and left will be 50 pixels. How can I make this into center? I can do one thing, margin left or margin already here I have applied margin. So left and right, I want to apply 300 pixels. So it comes little more on the right side. Okay, I'll make it into 500 pixels. Okay, it is almost center. Okay, chalo, ala cheyakoodu. దాన్ని ఎగ్జాక్ట్ సెంటర్ కి తీసుకురావాలి అని అంటే there is an option called auto. So this will make that particular division exactly into the center. Okay, of course, in the horizontal approach. So even if the screen sizes are varying, browser will calculate automatically the left margin and right margin, and that will be applied to this. This is one old age approach to make something into the center in our days. Okay, either I have to use the text align as center, or else I have to use the margin as the center. I mean auto. But this will be applied only if you have a proper width. If you don't have the proper width, then it is not that easy. Then it is not that easy. So here there is a case called width 30%. Then it is already occupied 30% of the width. See, this is too much actually. So the box itself occupied 30% of the entire width of the screen. Screen in the sense, not actual screen, the browser window. So when I click on, can you see the size of the box also reduced? Why? The size, of course, screen size is 1366, but the size of your browser reduced to somewhere around 400 or 500. Even this division also reduced its width into 30 pixels, 30% of the actual browser width. Okay, even on for that, your margin applied as left and right. So these all will be calculated in runtime and they will be counted. Okay, so this is about your box model. This is about your basic information about margin, padding, all these things. Okay, see guys, I tried my best to give you practical approach towards the CSS. So please go through the W3 School CSS sections also and read it. Okay, and try to apply whatever I have discussed today. That is creation of the nav bar. That is more important for you. Creation of the nav bar. Try yourself with aligning the nav bar onto the right side, aligning the logo on the left side. Try to create as many as nav bars possible. Okay, yeah, any queries please?
సార్ స్మాల్ క్వెరీ సార్.
పెట్టండి.
దీన్ని వర్టికల్ అలైన్ చేయొచ్చా సార్ ఇప్పుడు సెంటర్కి? ఐ మీన్ వెబ్ పేజ్ సెంటర్కి
చేయొచ్చండి. దానికి హైట్ పెట్టుకుని మీరు వర్టికల్ అలైన్ అని ఉంది కదా, ఆ
అవును సార్.
ప్రాపర్టీని అప్లై చేయాలి. ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్పాను కదా ఇప్పటి వరకు మీకు.
అవును సార్. అంటే ఐ మీన్ నాకు డౌట్ హైట్ అంటే పేరెంట్ దీనికి హైట్ పెట్టుకోవాలను. ఓకే. గాట్ ఇట్ సార్.
మీరు ఒకసారి ట్రై చేయండి. ఇప్పుడు దీన్ని మొత్తాన్ని మీరు కన్వర్ట్ చేయడానికి ఆ పాసిబిలిటీ ఎట్లా అని.
ఓకే సార్.
సింప్లెస్ట్ సొల్యూషన్స్ ఫ్లెక్స్ బాక్సెస్ లో ఉన్నాయి. ఫ్లెక్స్ బాక్స్ అనేది ఒకటి ఉంది కదా, దాంతో మనము చాలా ఈజీగా చేసుకోవచ్చు. బట్ మీరు వర్టికల్ అలైన్ యూస్ చేసి కూడా చేయండి. ఓకే, దెర్ ఈస్ వన్ మోర్ పాసిబిలిటీ దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ పొజిషన్స్. పొజిషన్ అని చెప్పేసి ఒక పాసిబిలిటీ ఉంది. పొజిషన్ అంటే మన పొజిషన్, అబ్సల్యూట్ పొజిషన్, రిలేటివ్ పొజిషన్, ఫిక్స్డ్ అని కొన్ని ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఉన్నాయి. దాంట్లో కూడా టాప్ లెఫ్ట్ మనము ఇవ్వచ్చు. ఓకే, దాన్ని కూడా ఒకసారి చూడండి. ఎస్, వర్టికల్ అలైన్ తోటి కూడా చేయొచ్చు, కానీ మీరు కూడా ట్రై చేయండి. ఓకే
ఓకే సార్.
సార్, నేను ఇంతకు ముందు మొత్తం అంతా ప్రతిదీ చెప్పుకుంటూ వచ్చాను. దీనివల్ల ఏమైందంటే మన ఫ్రెషర్స్ కానీ మీరు కానీ ఓన్లీ అవి వరకు చేసుకుని వదిలేస్తున్నారు, ఎవరు అప్లై చేయట్లేదు. మీకు ఇంటర్వ్యూకి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత సేమ్ క్వశ్చన్సే రావు కదా, రకరకాల ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వస్తూ ఉంటాయి, రకరకాల క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతూ ఉంటారు కదా. యా శ్రీనివాస్, యా, అట్లా మనము రెడీగా ఉండాలి. ప్రతి పాయింట్లోనూ రెడీగా ఉండాలి. మీరు కూడా ట్రై చేయాలి, నేను చెప్తాను. డెఫినెట్గా మీరు ట్రై చేసిన తర్వాత ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ యూ వాట్ ఈజ్ వాట్. ఓకే, చలో గైస్, దట్స్ ఇట్ ఫర్ టుడే. సీ యూ. ఐ హోప్ నేను ఇట్లా ఏమో సరే మీరు అడిగించుకోవడానికి రెడీగా ఉంటే నేను అడగడానికి నాకు ఇంకా తప్పదు కదా.